Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and I'm from amandacrochets.com, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make this easy and beautiful Suzette Baby Blanket. This is a 1-row repeat blanket which is perfect for beginners, and I use a self-striping yarn which is also great for beginners as you don't have to worry about changing your colors every couple of rows. You can just simply use a self-striping yarn and the results are absolutely beautiful. So this Suzette blanket measures 31 inches across by 31 inches tall. You can always make this a different size blanket if you wanted. You can make this into a throw size blanket. You can even make this for a king size bed by just changing up the amount of chains that you do at the very beginning. So the yarn I use is a self-striping yarn, like I said, and I really like the colors of this. It has like a light blue, then kind of like a teal and like a darker blue, and then it goes into that very light yellow and then like a cornflower, I guess, color. But it's a very beautiful stitch and a very beautiful color blanket. You can use any color that you want. You can use a solid color. And for the edging of the blanket, I just did a 2-round border and I used the herringbone half double crochet stitch. So let's see what kind of materials that we need today to make the blanket, and let's get started. So for today's pattern, you're going to need 1 full cake of the Caron Skinny Cakes, and I actually just use a little bit of the second cake. So you're going to need 2 altogether, but you're mainly going to use 1 full cake and a little bit of that second one. And the yarn that I'm using today is called Buttermints, and it's Caron Skinny Cakes, as I mentioned. It's a light number 3 weight yarn. It's machine washable and dryable. For the knitters, they recommend a US 6 or 4 millimeter knitting needle, and for the crocheters, they recommend a US G6 or 4 millimeter crochet hook. It's 100% acrylic. It's an 8.8 ounce or 250 gram cake. It is 795 yards or 727 meters. So again, I used 1 full cake and a little bit of that second cake. You're also going to need a pair of scissors and a tapestry needle. And for your hook size, I'm going up a hook size from the recommended hook size that they have on the label, and I'm using a size H 5 millimeter crochet hook. So to begin, you're going to need to make a chain of an even number of chains. So that means you're going to chain 2 plus 2 plus 2 into your desired width. As long as you have that even number, you should be just fine. For the blanket that I showed you at the beginning of the video, I ended up doing a chain of 110. So if you want to follow along, you can make 110 chains. However, if you want to make the blanket bigger or smaller, you will just simply chain an even number of chains to get your desired width. So to make a chain, you're going to do yarn over your hook and pull through that loop on your hook. So this is just going to be a sample swatch today in order to understand how to make this stitch. So I'm just going to do a chain of 20. But again, if you wanted to make that blanket, you're going to need to make a chain of 110. So that's 2, 3, 4, 19, and 20. So now that you have your even number of chains, let me just zoom up a little bit for you. So once you have your 20 chains or your even number of chains, again, for the blanket, it's going to be 110. Next, you are going to make a single crochet and a double crochet into the second chain from your hook. So the loop on your hook does not count. You're going to count 2 chains from your hook, so 1 and 2, and in that second chain, you're going to make a single crochet. So insert your hook into that second chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and that makes your first single crochet. Next, you're going to make a double crochet into that very same chain. So yarn over your hook, insert your hook into that same chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that completes your stitch. Next, you're going to skip the next chain, and in the chain after that, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to make a single crochet and a double crochet. So you're going to skip that next stitch, which is right here, and in the stitch after that, you're going to make a single crochet. So again, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and then for your double crochet, yarn over your hook, insert your hook into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So you're just going to repeat this all the way down until you get 2 chains left, and you're going to skip this next stitch right here, this next chain, and in the chain after that you're going to make a single crochet and a double crochet. So repeat this all the way down until you have 2 chains left, and I will show you how to end the row as well as move on to row 2. Okay, so I'm at the end of my row and I have 2 chains left. You're going to skip 1 chain, and in the very last chain you're going to make a single crochet only. So this is what your first row would look like. So to move on to row 2, you're going to chain up 1 and turn your work, and you're going to make a single crochet and a double crochet into that very first stitch. So this stitch right here, you're going to skip that chain 1, which is right here, and then that very first stitch, which is your single crochet from your previous row, you're going to insert your hook and make sure that you get both those loops, and you're going to make a single crochet and a double crochet in that very first stitch. Okay, next you're going to skip the next stitch, which is actually your double crochet from the previous row, and in the stitch after that, which is right here, you're going to make a single crochet and a double crochet. So skip that next stitch, and in the stitch after that, you're going to make a single crochet and a double crochet into that same stitch. Okay, and that's going to be the start of your repeat. So to finish your row, you're going to skip the next stitch, which is the double crochet from your previous row, and in that next stitch, which is the single crochet from the previous row, you're going to make a single crochet and a double crochet. So skip the next stitch, and in the stitch after that, you're going to make a single crochet and a double crochet. And you're going to repeat that until the end of your row, and then when you have 2 stitches left, I will show you how to finish off the row and move on to row 3. Okay, so I'm at the end of my row and I have 2 stitches left, so I have this one right here and the one over here. So I'm just going to skip this double crochet, and in the very last stitch, which is the single crochet, I'm just going to make a single crochet. So this is what a few of your rows are going to look like, and the more that you do this, the more you'll see this stitch. So when you do your first row, your stitch is popping this way, and when you do your second row, your stitch is going in the opposite direction on your left. So your stitches are going to offset, so it's always going to be one going to your right, and in the next row your stitch is going to be going to the left. So this is what makes that very pretty textured stitch. And then after you make your row 2, you're just going to chain up 1, and you're going to repeat row 2 over and over again until you get your desired width, and your desired length rather. So you're just going to repeat this over and over. So again, in the very first stitch, you're going to make a single crochet and a double crochet. you're going to skip that next stitch, and in the stitch after that, again, a single crochet and a double crochet. So just repeat row 2 over and over again until you get your desired length, and I will show you how to move on to the border. So my blanket ended up being 31 inches tall by 31 inches wide, and again for the border you're going to do a 2 round repeat. So I believe my blanket was just a little bit under 31 inches. So say make your blanket 30 inches wide if you're going to follow along with the exact blanket that I'm doing. So make your blanket 30 inches long, and I will make a few rows of this swatch just to show you, and I will come back and show you how to make that border. Okay, so here is what my swatch is looking like, and again, this is with a couple of different rows of that Suzette stitch. So like I mentioned in the beginning, your stitches are going this way, and then in your next row it's going this way. So it creates that nice, beautiful texture. So once you reach your desired length, you're going to move on to the border. So for the border, I just did a chain of 2 and turned, and I made a herringbone half double crochet border. So in order to make that, you're just going to yarn over your hook, and I went right in that very first stitch, and then I did yarn over, pull up a loop, and then I also pulled through that very first loop on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's the herringbone half double crochet. So again, yarn over your hook, insert your hook into that next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and go through that loop on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And I just did this all the way across. And again, it's the herringbone half double crochet. I've used this stitch quite a few times in different blanket patterns, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a new to me stitch that I just learned last year, and it's a very fun and interesting looking stitch. So just make 1 herringbone half double crochet in each of your stitches across the top of your blanket, and I will show you how to round out that corner and as well as go down the sides of your blanket. Okay, so I've come to the first corner. So in that first corner stitch, you're going to make 3 herringbone half double crochets all in that same stitch, and that will help round out your corner nicely. Okay, so once you have your 3, you're going to turn your work, and you're going to be working down the sides of your blanket. Now I just like to kind of go as even as I can down the sides. So you kind of just have to eyeball it and look to see what is the best stitch to go into for your sides. So just take your time with this, because you don't want to add too many stitches and you don't want to have too few stitches. So kind of just eyeball it like I said, and make 1 herringbone half double crochet down the sides of your blanket. And then when you reach this other corner right here, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to do 3 herringbone half double crochets in the corner. You're going to make 1 herringbone half double crochet across the bottom of your blanket, 3 herringbone half double crochets in this third corner, and then you're going to again work up the side. And then I will meet you at the very beginning and show you how to make round 2 of your herringbone half double crochet border. Okay, so I'm at the very beginning, so you already made 1 of your herringbone half double crochets in the very first stitch. So you're just going to make your final 2 herringbone half double crochets in that corner stitch, and then you're just going to slip stitch to the very beginning. So this is what round 1 of your border looks like. And to move on to round 2, you're simply going to chain up 2. You're not going to turn, you're just going to immediately start your second border. So again, you're going to make 1 herringbone half double crochet in each of the stitches across, 3 herringbone crochets in each of the corners, and then you're going to repeat this all the way around your entire blanket. Okay, so just to show you again what I mean by that corner, so you have the 3 stitches, so 1, 2, and 3. So I made 1 herringbone in that first stitch. The next stitch you're going to make 3 herringbone half double crochets in that corner. Just like that. And then that's your third one. Okay, so after you make your 3, the next one is just going to be 1 herringbone half double crochet, and that will help round out your corner nicely. So you're just going to repeat this all the way around until you get to the very end, and then when you reach the beginning, you're going to slip stitch the very first herringbone half double crochet. You're going to skip that chain 2, you're going to slip stitch to the very beginning, and then you're going to weave in all of your ends. So this is what my swatch looks like. And if we go back to the blanket for a minute, this is what your finished blanket will look like. So again, it's a very nice self-striping yarn, and it makes up this wonderful texture, and I really like this blanket a lot. It's definitely one of my favorite stitches that I've learned recently, and I'm a little bit obsessed with it. And then here is what that border looks like. So it's again just that 2 round repeat of the herringbone half double crochet, and then this is what the corners look like. So thank you so much for joining me today on how to make this easy and beautiful Suzette baby blanket. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and I hope you give this pattern a try. Please like, comment, and subscribe to see all future videos by me. And again, I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Alright everybody, happy crocheting and have a great day. Bye!